I got turned down from an internship opportunity. Does that mean my chance of getting into consulting is ruined forever? How useful it is to network during recruitment. Hi, from Toronto, this is Angie. I went from arriving in the US at age 15 without really speaking in English to a former McKinsey consultant. In this channel, I want to share my journey with you, all the ups and downs, as well as the tips and tricks that I picked up along the way. So when I was at McKinsey, I was a trend interviewer. Not only have I screened hundreds of resumes, I've also interviewed a lot of candidates for the first round interview. In today's video, I want to spend the time and debunk some of the common myths about consulting recruitment. Well, I don't know about you, but I've definitely had a lot of very similar questions when I was going through the process. Number one, would I get a shot if I have a really low GPA? Well, GPA is actually only a part of the equation. Companies typically also look at your leadership experience or your past work experience. So if you have a really low GPA, just make sure that you would have a really strong leadership and work experience to supplement that, and you will still be given an opportunity. Number two, would I be guaranteed an interview if I have a perfect GPA? Well, no. Again, like I said, GPA is only a part of the equation. So if you spend all the time studying and had no time to do any project work, to demonstrate any leadership skills, or to work anywhere else, the chances are you probably would not get an interview from the consulting companies. 3, can I join consulting from a non-traditional background? Well, I actually don't think there is a common or traditional background for consulting anymore. Well, you might think maybe it's the econ students or some of the engineering students. Yeah, but that's also only because a lot of them choose to go into consulting or finance from these majors. I've definitely had some of my colleagues that come from, for example, Asian studies or literature or history. So as long as you meet the bar where you have the qualified skills, it doesn't really matter which background you are from or which major that you were in. 4, this is a good one. I got turned down from an internship opportunity. Does that mean my chance of getting into consulting is ruined forever? Well, the answer is a hard no. 2 reasons. 1, internships are actually known to be extremely competitive, especially in the consulting setting. I think in my cohort, for the people who started out with me at McKinsey, probably only about 5% of them were an intern at McKinsey. So it is definitely the norm to not get an internship opportunity at major consulting companies. And second, it's actually also okay to not secure a full-time opportunity from your internship. Check out my last video where I talked about my experience, how even after that rejection, I was still able to secure an offer with McKinsey for full-time. So bottom line is, internship, it's good to have. Definitely would recommend join the internship recruiting process, but it would also not make or break for your full-time recruitment process. 5, do I need a consulting internship in order to apply for a full-time internship? The answer is no. Typically, consulting companies look at full range of work experience. It's not necessary that you have to come from a consulting internship. So rest assured, that is not required. 6, how many case practices should I do in order to properly prepare for case interviews? Well, I'm a firm believer in quality over quantity, so I don't think there's really a finite number of cases. I mean, you can practice 1,000 cases, but if you don't learn anything from each case that you practice, then it's just simply a waste of time. So what I would recommend is instead of going for the quantity, go for the quality. For each case that you practiced, really focus on what are the improvement points that you could make and how you could do better next time. 7, how useful it is to network during recruitment. Well, the answer is it actually depends. If you are from a non-target school, as in traditionally, consulting companies don't spend the time and energy to host on-campus events, interviews, stuff like that, then I would say yes, networking is probably extremely important for you to get you on the radar, to get you that interview opportunity. However, if you are from one of the target school where traditionally consulting companies spend so much time and energy and effort to host all sorts of events, from networking to info sessions to coffee chats, the chances are you're probably okay, because typically those consulting companies would also dedicate team to screen resumes, all the resumes that are submitted. So your resume is probably guaranteed to be reviewed by someone. Also, just channeling my own experience. When I was going through the recruiting process, I really wanted to go to BCG. So I networked hard. I called up partners, people who have previously interviewed me, hoping to get a conversation, hoping to get a referral. And as it turned out, after all that network effort, I didn't even get an interview opportunity with them. And with McKinsey, I'm actually way more relaxed. I went to a few sessions, I didn't really talk to anyone. I'm pretty sure I even messed up at one of those sessions, but that's story for another day. And with all of that, I was still able to get a full-time offer. So yes, the impact of networking really depends. 8, should I write a cover letter? Well, some companies might require it, but I want to say that majority of the companies do not require a cover letter. So all the resume screeners are full-time consultants. They probably barely have time to sleep and can probably squeeze only a little bit time for resume review. Definitely not enough time to review your cover letter. Number 9, should I write a thank you note to my interviewer? I think this is a very common recommendation by a lot of people from Career Center. I don't know, I've heard a lot of times, I don't know where even I heard it from. Yes, maybe as a courtesy you could, but again, if you're hoping to use a thank you email to turn the decision around, then you're definitely wrong. The moment that you walk out of that interview door, the decision probably has already been made whether you're accepted or not, whether you met the bar or not. And really, at the end of the day, that's all it matters. Number 10, what are some of your best tips that you could give, especially to international students? Well, I want to say that consulting recruitment in itself is already a very stressful and competitive process. And it's probably more so for international students because there's only a very small subset of companies that you can apply to. So the stakes definitely feel high. So I want to say that the best you could do is to put your best feet forward, get a lot of time to practice, definitely focus working on your communications because that's what I saw was a common reason why international students get turned away from job offers. And if you wanted to know more, check out my last video where I talked about the top tips and tricks that helped me land a job at McKinsey as an international student. So in the end, if you want to learn more about my past experience with McKinsey, check out my previous videos. And as per usual, if you have any questions, feel free to comment below. Would love to help as well. Until next time, bye!